But let's dig in a little more specifically. Let's talk about the name of the product, and then let's talk a little bit more about how it works bidirectionally in your platform. So tell us about the PartQuest data enablement
Sure.
piece so our audience can understand more than theoretically what that user experience is going to be like.
Sure. And I have a little prop here. We can use that.
Okay, we like props.
Right. And so this is a great example of what Roger was talking about, where we went from a concept idea to a physical product really, really quickly. Um, and there's a couple of products that fit under the name of PartQuest Design Enablement. And so what that really is right at the start, we worked on a conceptual design. And that conceptual design was really, I mean, it started off, as you said, as a napkin design that we wanted to do a memory game. And then we refined it a little bit, working with a partner called Celis to sort of say, I want this microcontroller, it's got to have this number of, 4 LEDs on it, a buzzer, etc. It's this sort of simple memory game. Once we'd done that, we used ParkQuest to simulate the boost converter on this, right? So that we could optimize the battery life, right? And so we went through some engineering work to be able to optimize what was our initial design and do that before we'd actually created any physical product at all. And that's part of what ParkQuest does in terms of being able to simulate analog mixed signal circuitry. And if you look around the hall today, you see a lot which is sort of fits into that I'd like to simulate it before I build it category. We have some capability within there for collaborating. And so as I'm building it, the need for engineers to collaborate and look at the schematic and work on maybe marking up the PCB, seeing the bill of materials. One of the big challenges today in the industry is even though I might be able to design this, if I can't get all the components I need because the lead time is too long, I really want to learn that as early as possible. So part of the ParkQuest environment is integrating the supply chain information as an example. So we kind of got this demo to the phase where we actually had a design, and then all those digital assets come into Xpedition Standard. Xpedition Standard is Siemens's design tool for schematic and layout, really for that sort of engineer who's doing both schematic and layout themselves. And it's part of our scalable solution. One of the nice things about the Siemens solution is you can start with Xpedition Standard and do a design like this one, or as you scale up in complexity and size of design team, it scales with you until you're at that enterprise level and the complexity that we know that the enterprise has. So we pulled all those assets together. They're all digital assets. That's the sort of digital thread. Pulled them into Xpedition Standard. We designed the physical layout. We used, and Roger can talk a little bit more about this, the Microchip AI to help program the controller on this, so that we've now brought in accelerating the software development portion of this as well. Completed that, took this into a manufacturing process, and through that streamlined process of going through the ParkQuest design enablement environment, it's really integrated into the Microchip environment, so it feels that it's part of the Microchip experience, and then into the design tool when you're actually doing engineering, and then finally through to manufacturing.
So if we take a specific example, right? You can go to our website. We're in development with this. You can go to our website, bring up a reference design. You can simulate the reference design. You can put probe points on the signals and see what the signals are. You can change input parameters. You can change components. So without loading any software, you just go to the website, you view the reference design, you tweak it, and then from there you can drop right in. So it's our reference design.
Got it.
You simulate it to how you want it to perform, and then you can drop it right into the schematic, and then you can begin editing the rest of the schematic. So, it makes it really simple and easy for clients to evaluate different products without loading software, right? I have to download software and get licenses and things like that. It's kind of overwhelming. And so this makes it really simple and easy for clients to get started. Right? Sometimes the beginning phase, right, you're bringing all these pieces together, and Siemens platform helps clients with all of our data to do that very easily and get to a schematic much faster than they would in the past.
What sort of drove that partnership?
So, Microchip started maybe as a more of a mass market, kind of a low to medium size client, a lot of academics. And um, as our designs and our products started to scale in complexity, that solution wasn't scaling, right? We couldn't bring in the complexity of the designs. We couldn't do the simulations. Those tools just weren't available. And even the workflows, it was just a simple schematic and PCB tool. We couldn't easily bring in, like the simulation from the web, or we couldn't easily bring in, hey, which parts are available. And so, the Siemens platform really enabled that front end piece of it. And then, something that Matt mentioned was the collaboration piece of it. I think he just mentioned collaboration, but on this specific design, I mean, we had, I think, engineers or developers in 5 or 6 different time zones on 2 or 3 different continents that were working together to get this done. I mean, this is a rather simple design, but, we had Celis, we had Siemens, we had Microchip collaborating together within this tool chain. And right, it made it very easy for us to very quickly go through a design review, or someone did a simulation on the power circuit and, we wanted to tweak that. And so all of these tools help enable us to get through that piece of it as well.
And I think, as Roger said, one of the key elements here is this was a team that was in multiple countries, right? And so it wasn't just about accelerating the design side, it was about enabling the collaboration and making sure that worked well and was efficient between people who were maybe in the US. I think we had some people in Europe, probably a couple of people in Asia who were on it as well. So having them all be able to see exactly the status of the design and collaborate on the design and have conversations about, what happens if you change this component? Is this going to work? And be able to do that digitally as well was a great saving.
Especially because often design teams are decentralized.
That's right.
Especially post-COVID.
My role within Microchip Masters was to do a class on the ParkQuest Design Enablement, where we partnered with Celis, with Microchip. We went through the whole flow from a concept all the way to manufacturer-ready design. And we went from using Celis, which is an AI-powered platform, that started to revolutionize early-stage circuit design. From there, we took rough requirements, like we needed buttons, we needed a buzzer. We inputted that into their design assistant. It gave us a schematic that we could use within our tools, within the Siemens platform. We brought it into our schematic capture tool. From there, we jumped over to our online simulation platform, ParkQuest Explorer, where we could tweak design, refine it, optimize it, and bring that back into our schematic, and then fast forward to layout. We did our layout. We have a lot of great tools within layout, such as a 3D view, the AI predictive commands, which makes everything at its click away. And from there, we pushed it into our collaborative ecosystem, which is known as Connect, where I could share the design with you. You can review it. And then once we were confident, we got our design reviews, we were able to pull that into PCB Flow, where we could run a manufacturing analysis. So throughout that whole flow, Microchip was a great partner in enabling us to, one, software, to use their MP Lab coding AI assistant to power it, but also we used their parts for the memory game. So it was a great collaboration between the 3 companies, showing how you can leverage an integrated workflow, the ParkQuest Design Enablement workflow, and you could take a rough idea all the way to manufacturer-ready design.
We really focus on trying to find that early discovery and finding those chip solutions, those highly integrated components that Microchip's engineers have painstakingly designed. And being able to go from a part that you can purchase online through the simulation down into the CAD software to be able to put that into a schematic and then board layout all the way down to manufacturing. And so by providing engineers with that ability to roll through those steps quickly and effectively, we enable them to get to market faster and get it work in design and be able to touch the device that you've built. Because that's the most satisfying part, is when I get a design and I put it in my hands, I go put power to it, and
It works.
it works. There's no smoke in that. And even the most seasoned of us have it. I actually was doing a design here for Microchip I was going to bring, and I smoked the AVR chip. So it's
We love the
forget
blue
something.
smoke, buddy. We've all seen the blue smoke.
Oh yeah, it's part of the learning process.
Right.
And don't be afraid to make a mistake.